What's going on, guys? It's your boy Ethan. Hope you're having a great day. After busting the $5,000 tournament in brutal fashion with Kings, I'm gonna go play some cash. I guess there's a 1025 opening right now. There's some open seats, and I'm gonna try to bump up the stakes a little bit. It'll be fun. Trying to maybe rebound from the last time I played cash, which was like a 25, 50, 100, 200 game. We're gonna see what it's like in the Florida streets here at the Hard Rock during a tournament series, and maybe, hopefully, I won't be the only splasher there. We'll see how it goes. Gonna buy in for enough to cover people, because you guys like that, and try to hop in some big hands. So thanks so much for watching. Bringing on some cash game videos, because I know you guys all like cash games as well, along with the tournaments. Hopefully we run good. Try to run it up. Let's hop into the 10, 25, 50 game here running in Florida, and I buy in for $30,000. One of the first hands I pick up pocket fives. The $50 straddle is on all night long, like I said, and I'm first to act. I raise things up to $125. One of the shorter stacks at the table makes the call in position of me, and everyone else folds. So going to a flop of Jack 8-5, 2 clubs, just pretty sick start. Starting things off hot with a set. Here, out of position, I decided to check it over to him, and he bets out $150. Like I said, this is one of the shorter stacks at the table. He has like maybe $500 behind, so bottom set, I unblock all the draws, I unblock all the pairs and value combos, so I decided to just go all in. It's about $650 all in. Anyways, he makes the call pretty quickly, and got to assume I have the best hand. I show immediately. The run out comes 4, followed by another 4, so I end up boating up, and I'm sure I have the best hand, and I do. Very nice start, although he didn't have a whole lot in front, and by I mean a whole lot, everyone else has maybe a couple thousand in front of them, and he had $600, so nice to win a set, get paid, and win the max. In the following hand, we get into 8-7 of hearts and +2. Raising's up to $125, and I get some action here. The button, big blind, and straddler make the call. So 4 ways to a flop now, which comes King 10-7, 2 hearts. Pretty sick flop here with just a pair and flush draw. Action is going to check around here. Don't think I really want to bloat up the size of the pot just yet. Going to a turn now, which comes the King of Diamonds. The straddler bets out $275 on this card, and I have a pretty easy decision, although I don't love it, as this player could have a king, and some of my flush outs could turn into his full house. Anyways, definitely not folding. I make the call, and everyone else ends up folding. Now heads up to the river, which is the Ace of Diamonds. This player thinks about his decision for a long time, and ultimately ends on a check. Is this a spot to really bluff off on? We missed all of our flush draws, obviously, and all of our outs. I decided to take my 7s into showdown. Hopefully a pair could be good. He ends up showing 10-8 offsuit, and I lose. Couldn't get there, couldn't win this one, and I end up chipping down in this second hand. In the following spot, picking up Ace-3 of hearts on the button, the $100 straddle is on in this hand, and I raise things up to $250. Only the $50 straddler makes the call on a very short stack of about 1,100, so just in this hand, we're playing about 11 big blinds. Going to a flop of 6-3 deuce rainbow, he checks it over to me, and with a pair, I'm happy to just get stacks in, I think. I decided to bet pretty large, $425, close to the size of the pot, and he decides to go all in for 1,100. All right, the whole point of betting so big was to get stacks in, but what's he check jamming with? I'm not sure, but like I said, with the straddle on, he's effectively playing extremely short stacked, so I call. Let's just gamble here. Who knows what he could have, and we're off to a run out where the turn comes a heart, so you know, if my 3 isn't good, maybe hearts could be good. River brick. And he shows us pocket aces? What the hell? Nice hand, I guess. Very good timing for him to pick up aces, slow play them pre-flop with a short stack, and I lose. Losing more after that first hand. In the following hand, picking up pocket 10s, I'm on the straddle, and an early position player, friend of mine, Grant, raises it up to $150. Action folds to me. He's the only other person playing relatively deep stack at this table, so I decided to 3-bet this good hand to 750. For 750, he makes the call, so we're going to battle out of position in a 3-bet pot. The flop comes Jack 8-7 2 spades, and overall, like, this is a decent flop for tens here. Just one card for my pair. I have a gut shot straight draw, but overall, I think this board is going to favor him more than me as the 3-better, so I decided to check, and he checks this one back. Now going to a turn which comes a queen. All right, it's another card over my pair. I really don't love it, to be quite honest with you. Do I think my overall range may like it? Potentially, but this hand with tens does not like it. I check, and luckily he ends up checking it back, so maybe tens is the best hand. Now off to a river which comes a 7. All right, I guess I beat pocket 9s, I beat an 8, and I guess I just beat other random pairs that he could have. Anyways, is there a merit to betting really small for value? I think there is after this run out, after this action. So I bet out $300, and he immediately announces that he had nothing and ends up folding. So woohoo, finally get to win a pot after some pain in the first few hands. In the next hand, me and Grant get talking, and we end up trading $300 straddles. So this hand, I've been carded a little bit. Let's just straddle the $300 because why not? I have king deuce of hearts. Early position, Grant opens it up to 750. It folds all the way back to me, and he's got about 10,000 in his stack. So kind of like playing a tournament, and I've been super bored. He's got about 30 big blinds with my $300 straddle, and what am I doing? I say F it. I jam all in with a suited king. I know suited aces won't be bad, but suited king is definitely not recommended, and even worse when he snap calls. Oh dear God, this can't be good. He announces he has pocket kings. We just run it once, and yeah. I lose. He wins with pocket kings. I'm a total idiot, and I just spewed $10,000 his way for absolutely no reason, because I wanted to win the $750, but instead it ended up costing me $750. I run into it. This was on no one's fault besides my own, and he wins. All right, in this following spot, the $300 straddle is on once again. I'm in the big blind with 6-7 offsuit, and action folds around to me. I'm bad at poker. I want pain, so I decide to limp in, call the $300, and the straddler checks his option. Now off to a flop of 10-5-3 rainbow here, flopping a gut shot straight draw, relatively dry flop, and I start with the check with the plan to check raise. Sadly, this player checks back. Turn comes a board pairing 3, brings in a backdoor flush draw, and I don't know. I've got 7 high. I want to apply maximum pressure and just get folds from a 5, get folds from ace or king high. So I overbet to 800. And when I overbet here, it doesn't really amount to anything great because my opponent makes the call. So I definitely don't feel great about it. But we're off to a river which comes the queen of diamonds, brings in the flush draw. It's an overcard to a 10, so I could make a 10 feel pretty uncomfortable here. So I've already committed to this line of being really polar. I decided to bet out $1,800, and this player snap calls once again. He shows 6-3 of hearts. How beautiful is that? Nice hand to Grant. The same opponent as last time. I am just spewing multiple thousands of dollars to this one player. I wish I could say I was getting some of that money back, but I'm not. He is earning it, and I am giving it away. Clearly not playing my A game, B game, C game, D game. I think I'm playing like my F or Z game. Anyways, I pick up Jack 10 of clubs in the big blind. Once again, $300 straddle is on. Action folds around to the player to my right. He raises to 1,000. He's in the small blind here, and with a pretty good hand, I decided to just make the call here, assuming that the small blind player is going to raise a pretty narrow range. Anyways, it folds to the $300 straddler. It's Grant again. Why not? He decides to 3-bet, re-raise to 4,200. Oh, man. Small blind folds, and now it's back to me. Grant is the only player with about 20,000 in his stack, and half of it is because of my money. Anyways, because we're playing pretty deep, I decided to gamble here. I'm already stuck a pile. You can't really make money by folding, but you can dig a deeper hole by calling $4,200 with Jack 10 suited. So here I am. Let's see a flop. Going to a flop which comes Queen 8 Deuce Rainbow. Not a single club on the board either, which is unfortunate. I start off with a check, and he bets out 3,200. Well, it's a little bit bigger than what I would have liked to see, but I have a gut shot straight draw, and maybe sometimes hitting a jack or 10 would be good here, as he could have ace king. I don't know. That's about it. For the love of Christ, this is an easy fold, but in real time, I can't stop it. I can't help myself. I'm already down bad so much. Let's hit a 9 one time. I make the call and light $3,200 on fire. The turn comes the 4 of clubs. All right, that's a complete whiff. I check it over to him. He goes all in for, I don't know, 15K or 10,000. Who knows at this point, because it doesn't matter. I have jack high and snap fold. It's a complete night of misery. It's a complete night of winning for Grant here. And even better, he shows us pocket aces. All 3 big hands go Grant's way. He deserves it as being such a nice guy for inviting me to this game, and I'm just dumping money, running to aces, donating to kings. It's overall just me playing pretty poorly now. One more orbit around the felt. I straddle to $300 again because I just love pain. The action starts off with a button who raises it up to $750. It folds to me and I peel pocket 5s. Wow. Well, like I said, no one is playing super deep. This player only has about 7,000 in the stack. So with a $300 straddle, it's like 20 to 25 big blinds. Here we are. I actually have a pair, so maybe we can just flip for stacks. I decided to go all in because that's what you would do in a tournament. This player goes into the tank and ends up folding, saying he believes me. No idea if he folded a better overpair. No idea if he just folded ace, queen, or king, queen, whatever it may be. I end up showing him a 5, and I'll take it. I'll finally take a small rebate after all the punts. I'll take down $750 uncontested. After all of the ridiculous straddles, I pick up pocket kings. Of course, no crazy straddles, just playing 10, 25, 50. I raise things up to $125. Sadly, there is no straddle on, but we get the big blind and $50 straddle to make the call. So let's go multi-way to a flop of 10, 8, 5, 2 clubs. Action checks it over to me here, sitting on a relatively wet board. I have an overpair and we're multi-way, so I'm gonna size up. I wanna get some money. I wanna get paid after all the punts. I bet out $300, and looks like everyone's expecting me to punt these days. No surprise. Both players actually make the call, so we are building a pot here, going to a turn which is the queen of spades. Brings in a backdoor spade draw as well. Action checks to me once again, and I'm definitely going to have to bet for value. I'm hoping maybe someone connected with the queen. Maybe they have a flush draw as well. So I'm going to bet big for $850, but to this sizing. Both players fold pretty quickly. No action here when I actually have something. Kind of getting a little frustrated, and that will lead us into this next hand. I have ace 3 of clubs on the button, and there's a brand new player in early position who raises to $150. Considering he just sat down, I'm not sure how he plays, not sure what the dynamics are with him just yet. I decided to call and not 3-bet. The big blind comes along and calls as well. We're going to a flop of 9-6-3 rainbow. Action checks to me here, and you know what? I am just in a pure spew mode. I could definitely check this one back, but I just want to take down every single pot that I possibly can, because that's what happens when you're stuck piles. I fire out $350, and I get the big blind player, Grant. Why wouldn't he? I've gone like 0 for 5 against him so far in big pots. He decides to make the call. He wants more money. We're going to a turn now, which comes the jack of diamonds. He starts off with a check once again, and I think here definitely could barrel again here, but considering I am playing my Z game, worst game possible, I decided not to. And we're going to take ace high to the river, which comes the king of clubs. And for the third time, my opponent checks, and it seems pretty likely he's playing it like he has a 9 or something. So I'm going to put maximum pressure against a 9, 2 overcards that just came on the turn and river, and I'm going to blast out $800. Grant goes into the tank here. He thinks it over, and he's gotten to the best of me every single hand so far. Will he make the right decision on a call, or will he actually spare me and fold? And you know how the night's going. He decides on a call. Nice hand to you. Just losing to the same player over and over again, and he does make a pretty good call with pocket 8s. Yep, 4th pair is going to win. I cannot get a fold to save my life. My bluff doesn't get through, and it's just one of those nights. All right, you know, I kind of want this night to end. It's been a night of misery so far. So one of the last hands, I pick up pocket 5s on the button. There's a $100 straddle on, and I raise things up to $250. Folds around to the $100 straddler, and he actually decides to 3-bet to $800. All right, $800 here with my pair. I am certainly going to battle. I make the call, and we see a flop of jack 3, 4, 2 spades. He decides to lead out with a bet of $900 here, and I think it's a little bit suspicious, a little bit fishy here, considering he's betting so big in a 3-bet pot out of position. I just think a lot of the hands he can have really will whiff a lot on this board. So thinking that actually pocket 5s would be the best hand a lot of the time. I don't think pocket 10s or 9s are going to be betting this big. So I decided to raise up this bet to 2,500. And looking at his stack, he's got about 9,000 total. And upon my raise, he goes into the tank. Hoping for just a fold here, it would make my life really easy. But ultimately, he does end up just flicking in the 3-bet shove of 9,000 total. Just fuck my life, man. It is so unfortunate to run into it time and time again, and I'm just super frustrated. I'm playing really bad. I believe him with the pocket 5s. I just muck, and he shows us King, Queen of Spades. So technically, I was ahead or winning with my pair of 5s, but he had plenty of equity. And upon this hand, I immediately just rack it up and leave. I take my L. It's not my night. I'm playing really horribly. I'm spewing, I'm punting, and I'm making all the wrong decisions. I'm going to take my L and move on from tonight. I just snap left after that pocket 5s hand. Sometimes like it just doesn't go your way. Sometimes you play like shit and you get punished for it. Just frustrated. It seemed like every single pot that I played just never went my way. I only won like a handful of hands that were all very small, the ones that I won. And then every time there's a big straddle on or anything, I get involved and I just get my shit kicked in. And it gets demoralizing after a while, and I just called it quits, just gave up. Locked up the L because I didn't want to lose anymore. And it's hard to win all that money back because like the straddles are very infrequent. Let me tell you, the straddles were very, very infrequent. It's just every time that there was a straddle and I got involved, I just lose a big pot. It hurts, it sucks, feels bad. The swings are hard. It's hard to like not get emotional about these things, especially when I know that I was playing like dog shit. Just like incinerating money on fire when I jammed King Deuce. And I guess you're gonna have some bad days like this, but limiting it and being in the right mindset, like I just wasn't in the right mindset to play today. And I shouldn't have played. And here I am. I'm dealing with the consequences of pain and losing money. So I was in the game for 70,000 total. I tipped $10 because I won 10 hands, I think, maybe, including pre-flop. I cashed out for 43,865, which is a fat L of over 26,000. Swings are just like stupid. Silly, like 2 weeks ago or a week and a half ago, I was feeling fine because I just won a lot of money on Hustler, and variance bites me in the ass. I play look bad, play high variance. This shit happens, and I'm just gonna get over it. I'm gonna wake up tomorrow and ready to grind again. But thanks so much for watching these videos. Like, I'm up on the year in cash, it's great, but like these are the days that you're trying to avoid if you're trying to like play professionally and make money. And you got to make the most of your opportunities because these big games don't happen all that often, right? Like it's hard to have the opportunity to play 100, 200, and you want to make the most of your opportunities. And it seems like I'm just like punting away these opportunities and just giving it away. So it feels bad of how I played. But thanks so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed. It was some entertainment for you guys, but that's what happens when you're bad at poker. See you next time.